certainly lacked the controversial drama of 2021, and whether he deserved it all back then is for another debate. In 2022, there was inevitability that he retained the title, and 2023 it was sheer dominance, 19 largely uncontested wins in 22 races, which was mightily impressive. However, his fourth title, it may be his most impressive yet, not necessarily because of his brilliance on track, although the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, when he went from 17th to the first, is one of the greatest performances in the wet we've seen. Instead, it's his championship, because he has still managed to come out on top despite the political turbulence that surrounded him all season. Not since 2008 and Lewis Hamilton's maiden title has there been such turmoil behind the scenes. Hamilton's victory came in the wake of Slygate and the incredible £100 million fine for his team after a member was caught with Ferrari IP. Hamilton, of course, beat Felipe Massa in a dramatic finale as McLaren triumphed over Ferrari to reflect a season-long backdrop of rivalry between the two teams, not to mention getting over one on the FIA who administered the penalty. This season, Verstappen has been caught in the middle of a conflict that has threatened to rip his Red Bull team apart since Bahrain. Only one can imagine the thoughts that seeing Christian Horner embroiled in such controversy with the investigation into him immediately fall out and inevitably disrupted harmony within the team. And yeah, at the Bahrain Grand Prix, Verstappen was asked if he'd support Horner. It was an uncomfortable situation and gave an unequivocal answer, but it was the last thing he wanted to discuss. Despite all the noise, Verstappen somehow kept his cool and dominated. Not only that, he'd taken the Grand Slam. The distraction that became even worse when Joss entered the Horner saga, making bombastic claims insisting he needs to be sacked immediately. Just Verstappen's decision to turn up the heat on Horner only served to increase the pressure on his own son, as the narrative turned from discussing Horner's fate to that of the three-time champion. Verstappen's future was scrutinised and he was drawn in a byproduct of the internal conflict. It raised further questions over whether the departure of Helmut Marko would activate an exit clause in Verstappen's clause. That in turn prompted some cautionship from Toto Wolff, of course, losing his star driver. His frustration was understandable, but unlike in previous years, there's no outburst in the media or his team. Somehow he continued to win and didn't appear to be derailed or sidetracked by the situation, even when Adrian Newey announced his departure. Only unlike previous years, the wins did dry up. Had the off-track politics destabilised the team? Again, the attention switched to world champion. The questions continued. At the Austrian Grand Prix, Verstappen kind of committed to the team amongst questions from Mercedes. Unbeknownst at the time, his response to the question in the press conference was only served to up the ante with his father, who was livid that his son inadvertently came out to support Horner. Verstappen, who was embroiled in a rift with not only his team but also his family, yet on track, another battle was coming, with Lando Norris building momentum, taking his first win on Miami, and yeah, McLaren's performance increasing and maybe even having the fastest car. And of course, something that Verstappen didn't have to rely on was the support of Perez, but Norris had that with Piastri. Then their battle for supremacy will result in collision. For the first time in Austria, Verstappen overly aggressive towards the McLaren driver, forcing off the track. It was ruthless and costing a 10-second penalty. The flashpoint was a moment that signalled that Norris possessed to his title, but was particularly interesting with the way Verstappen handled himself. Instead of bemoaning Norris's efforts to overtake, Verstappen said, "To me, the only thing I cared about was maintaining my relationship with Lando." As Norris pulled himself into contention, Verstappen showed maturity. He was unhappy with Red Bull car and vented his frustration, understandably so, but there's no petulant outburst of note when it came to being easy to throw people under the bus. For the first time since 2021, Verstappen was being called to work for his title, and with a car that was no longer the quickest. There was, however, one moment speaking his mind that did land him in trouble, swearing in the FIA press conference, and that got him a community service, yet another political tightrope that he was required to walk, this time with the governing body. He was clearly upset at how it had been handled. There were further clashes with Norris in Austin in Mexico, where maybe his driving did go over the top, and also had that collision with Lewis Hamilton in Hungary. All of the incidents were debatable, but Verstappen was wrong for that incident in Mexico. But still, the victories eluded him and the pressure was growing. But there was that drive at Sao Paulo, the fury of getting knocked out in Q2, but going for Q1. It was just going for P1. It was just an absolutely incredible drive. When Red Bull was faltering, they were losing the Constructors' Championship. Perez was fading. But yeah, Verstappen coming out with that drive was just absolutely incredible. And one that was deserving of the full-time world champion and arguably one of his best championships yet.
Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.